Check it.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another video, and today we are back with another episode of Community Showcase. This is the May edition of Community Showcase, and there's going to be some pretty interesting announcements for the future of this series. So if you want to go ahead and just stay tuned to the end, I'm going to go ahead and announce what the future of Community Showcase is going to be, as things are changing, and this will be the last episode in this format. So without further ado, let's get into this month's entries. So the first entry comes in from Shah Ali, and this is his underground inspired Evo. So he said in the description of this picture that it's based around a carbon dash underground style wrap, and it works really well. I love how the kind of turquoise and gold go together. You wouldn't think it would work really well, but it actually kind of does. And overall, it's a great design. So thank you for the entry. Now we're going to go on to the next one. And the next picture comes from Ryder7551, and this is his Subi from Need for Speed World. Now he said again in the description that this car was made all the way back in 2011, back when World was actually alive and kicking, and it's one of those very few entries which isn't Need for Speed 2015 based. And I've got to say again, I love this car. I love the colour scheme, I love the rims, I like how he's made it an actual race car, and overall it looks very nice and clean overall, and it's a very nice build. So thank you for the entry. Now we're going to go on to the next one, and the next build comes from Avatar Sage 248, and this is his recreation of a car which he had previously seen, I think it was on DeviantArt, and again it looks really nice. I like the tiger color scheme, and it just generally looks like a race car, and I think it looks pretty goddamn nice generally. One thing I personally don't like, and it just kind of annoys me, is the fact he's used RTR rims and it's not a Mustang, but that's just me nitpicking. It's not an actual issue with the wrap or anything. It's a really nice car. So thank you for the entry. Now we're going to go on to the next one, and the next entry comes from Tristan, and this is his BRZ FRS GT86 thing, and he said it was a car based on a animated series which he watched, and he tried to recreate it, and I've got to say it looks pretty goddamn nice. It looks like a Hot Wheels car. I think that's what it is based upon, and it does definitely look like one. I do like the kind of dragon pattern on side. I think it's really well created, and I've got to say overall it's a very nice car. So thank you for the entry. We're going to go straight on to the next one, and this entry is from the Rising PGM, and I've got to say this is definitely one of the most interesting designs we've had so far. Now he did say that he wanted to combine elements of Von Gittin Jr.'s Mustang and Ken Block's Unicorn, as well as Ken Block's Escort, and put it into this 2000 GTR, and I think you've done it pretty goddamn well. You know, just everything from kind of that tiger pattern in the front, even to, you know, including the Monster Energy logos in the right place, and I think it's just a good combination of all of them, and I think it works really well on the 2000 GTR specifically, because it's kind of a good middle ground in terms of an Escort, a Mustang, and a Unicorn in terms of the shape and the look of the car. So overall, I'm going to say again, one of my favorites this week. The designs do get a lot crazier the further we get on, and you'll notice that there's a lot of good designs, but the ones we've done so far, including this one, have been pretty goddamn awesome too. So with that being said, we're going to go on to the next design, and the next car comes from Steel NFS, and this again is another amazing entry. This is his Rusty Drift Missile Supra, and again it looks really cool. Just the use of the rust, it just looks really good on this car, and you know, even everything just to the side with the little shark thing, it just works really well. It genuinely looks like a rusted car, and overall it's just pretty goddamn insane. So thank you for the entry again, another amazing entry this week. We're gonna go on to the next one, and once again I don't think this car needs any introduction. Just look at it. I'm pretty sure you guys already know what this is based upon. This is based upon the Impreza rally car, except it's on a BRZ this time, and I've got to say again, it looks pretty goddamn awesome. This is from Saturnum. I've completely slaughtered your name, but again, another amazing entry. It's different on a BRZ. I haven't seen anything like this on a BRZ. I've seen it on the hatch version of the Impreza, but not on the actual BRZ itself. So, you know, it's something new, something interesting, something I have not seen previously, and it works surprisingly well. So thank you very much for the entry. Now we're going to go on to the next one from Omega Eggy, and again another clean and simple design which works really well with this Porsche. Again, just look at it. It looks really nice, really clean, nothing too outrageous, but then again you don't really need it to be outrageous for it to be an amazing design, and I think this kind of personifies that perfectly. So thank you very much for the entry. Very clean, very simplistic, and it works very, very well. Now I'm going to go on to the next design, and this one is from Olympic Llama. So again, another R35, except this time it's a Rocket Money kit, and he's kind of gone for the kind of super promotion-esque look, and again it works really well. I don't know, I think the dragon looks a bit weird in this game. I'm not sure if I'm the only person. It's not your fault, it's not anyone's fault, it's just it looks a bit weird to me, it looks a bit off. But I love the stars coming off those fenders, look so just natural. It's weird to explain, it just looks like it was supposed to be there. And then the colour scheme with the black and the red, I might have to get on Need for Speed and make me a black and red, you know, colour schemed car, because again this looks really goddamn nice. Really kind of want to create a super promotion car, especially with some of the ones I've seen for Community Showcase recently. Anyway, with that being said, we are now going to go on to the next entry, and this is also the last photo entry before we go on to the video entries, and this is from Zhao, and he said this was based on a Speed Hunters R32, and I don't know how to feel about this car. I don't know how to feel about the back being like just matte black and it looked like almost like car. I don't know what I think of this car. Mixed opinions. Obviously it's an R32, so you get immediate plus points, but I don't know, there's something a bit weird about this design. But again, it's a recreation, so what can you say? And with that being said, that's all of the photo entries for this month. Now we're going to go on to the video entries of this month, and again it just gets better and better. So the first video submission this week is from StraightUpHippo, and this is his A86. Kind of looks like a race / drift build, and it looks pretty goddamn awesome. A very, very unique color scheme. It doesn't it's not something I would particularly use like when I first think of it, but it works quite well on this car. Not sure what I feel about the checkered wing, but everything else looks pretty goddamn awesome, and it genuinely works well, and you wouldn't expect red and turquoise to go together as well as a green. So overall, pretty goddamn awesome. Thank you for the entry. Now we are going to go on to the next one, and the next entry is a race / drift build. Once again, this one's from Ghost Event, and this is his Evo, and again another tremendous car. You don't see many chrome cars in Need for Speed, but this one's got obviously a red chrome base, and then it's obviously got the wrap on top of it, and I haven't really seen many chrome cars that have been submitted to Community Showcase which look as good as this. This looks really, really good. So thank you for the entry, looks absolutely popping. Now we're going to go on to the next one, and this is from Ninafan Gaming, and this is his F40. So again, pretty goddamn awesome. I love the white and red Ferrari colours, looks pretty goddamn nice. I haven't used the F40 an awful lot in this game, but I've heard good things from it, and I might have to give it a go. But I've got to say, this definitely, it looks very nice, looks like a race car, and looks like it sticks with the kind of traditional Ferrari colours. So thank you very much for the entry. Now we're going to go on to the next one, and again this is just a pure example that you don't need to go overboard for a car to look nice. This is so minimalistic. It's got like one sticker on and it looks awesome. This is a Dijan's, he said it was a black edition Supra, that's what he said in the little notes section of this video, and I've got to say it looks pretty goddamn awesome. Besides that one sticker on the side door, you know, besides that, it looks pretty clean. I'm not a huge Supra person personally, and this, you know, definitely looks pretty clean, pretty nice, and I've got to say it's definitely got the good tick from me. So thank you very much for the entry. We're going to go on to the next one. And this again, it kind of seems like a drift build R32, and usually I don't like R32s without their stock wing on the back, otherwise it just looks a bit weird to me. The only exception I usually have is the ducktail stock spoiler, which is in Need for Speed, but this one looks really, really nice, and you don't hear me saying much about wingless R32s. I usually don't like them, but this one again, it's an exception. I think it looks really, really well. The way he's placed the stickers around the car just works again very, very well, and it reminds me of an all-out drift missile, and overall just looks pretty goddamn awesome. So thank you for the entry. Now we're going to go on to the next one. And the next entry is from Axelson26, and yet again another R32. He said this was his Panda R32, so again, take that as you will, but again, I think it looks pretty goddamn nice. I love how the back looks like looks like it's really dead trees. Looks like trees with no leaves on, and it looks oddly nice actually. I'm not approving that spoiler. The spoiler is a bit OTT, but besides that, it looks pretty alright. There's not really much else to say about this car. The spoiler was a bit like, I think the stock spoiler would look a lot nice, but each to their own. It's your car, obviously you like it, and that's all that matters. So thank you for the entry. Now we're going to go on to the next one. But anyway, the next entry is from Vertical21, and yet again another SRS recreation. So this is the cover car, I believe, for SRS. There was someone else who actually did the exact same thing, and it's surprising how many people have recreated this car for Community Showcase. And again, it looks really nice, and it's still kind of, it doesn't look outdated unlike a lot of cars that if you go back to some of the 2004-ish cars, a lot of them look outdated, but this one's not one of them. This one still looks apart and still looks very nice. So thank you for the entry, great recreation. Now we're going to go on to the next one. And the next entry comes from Tamir Jansen, and this is his S15, and this one is pretty interesting. It kind of looks like it's got marble towards the front. That's kind of what the texture looks like, and then the back just looks like normal black gloss paint. If that's the look we're going for, then it looks very nice. It looks nice regardless, to be honest. I like how it does genuinely look like marble at the front. But anyway, that was the only clip he sent me. It was quite short, so I kind of had to get all my points in that kind of short time span. Anyway, we're going to go on to the next clip. Anyway, the next entry is from Shady, and again, another amazing wrap. This one is a Hoonigan built 240SX with the Salati front, and again, looks very nice indeed. It just looks like he's crashed into someone, and there's a lot of blood everywhere. That's what it reminds me of. It looks like you've just ran someone over, and I don't know, it looks pretty nice. You know, it would be really nice if we could get the Hoonigan logo in a separate color, but again, you've got to make use with what you've got, and you've definitely done that here. Looks pretty goddamn awesome. Thank you for the entry. We are now going to go on to the next one. This next entry is from Nixter9781, and again, another amazing build. Now, the footage is a bit laggy for some reason. I can't say why, it just is. And this is his RSR. It looks really nice. I have not seen a white and gold RSR, and again, this looks pretty goddamn nice. He's also put the Acuna Speedstars logo on the hood, which is a bit of an Initial D reference if there's any Initial D fans out there. But again, very nice car. I like the color scheme. I like the way he's put all of the livery on the side. It looks really nice, really organic. So thank you for the entry. We're going to go on to the next one. And the next one is from Mirthless, and this is his S15. Now again, I want to apologise for the kind of skippy and jumpy gameplay. That is not my fault, that's just how it was sent to me, so I kind of had to use it. And this is his S15, and again, he's gone for the purple and black colour scheme, and it looks again like a drift dash track car. And I've got to say, it looks pretty goddamn nice. Obviously, he's put the Zilla stickers everywhere, and it definitely suits the car very well. So now we're going to go on to the next entry, and this is from Midnight Rush, and he said that this was a recreation of a Falcon drift car, and holy balls, look at this design. One of the best again this week. It's got that kind of minty color scheme towards it, and it just looks amazing. Definitely one of the best. Everything complements each other well, and as for a recreation, it just looks fucking awesome. So thank you very much for the entry. It genuinely looks amazing, and we can tell that you've gone to a lot of effort to recreate that Falcon R32. Now we're going to go on to the last entry from this week, and this is from Matthias, and this is his Nismo based R35, and I've got to say, it looks pretty goddamn awesome again. Another track dash race build, and you can tell, you know, he's got those Nismo colours in there, the colour scheme. It's got inspiration from the Rocket Bunny side of things with the whole Rocket Bunny kit in there, and overall, it's just a very nice build. So thank you very much for the final entry of this month, and probably the final entry of the kind of traditional community showcase there ever will be, because the community showcase is changing after this month, and I'm going to explain a bit about that now. So as a lot of you may already know, when I started this series, I literally got like 3 or 4 entries, and that was it, and it wasn't that relatively hard to do in terms of workload and managing everything. Now it's very different, you know. At one stage in community showcase, it got to the point where I literally got no entries, and that was the reason why I was going to end it. Now it's on the opposite end. I'm getting too many, and I just can't handle everything. But don't worry, community showcase is, as a concept, is still staying on the channel. I'm looking to do something like at the start of the videos, I'll have like design of the day, and it will come up with your car, and then, you know, it'll go into the video, so type something like that. But in terms of actually just having one single show each month like this, I just can't do it. It's way too much, and also the editing is really boring and monotonous. It's not fun, because it requires me to do a lot of the same things over and over again, and we're not talking once, we're not talking twice, we're talking working like twice for each entry, so it can be up to like 60 times I'm doing certain things in software, and it's just not fun for me. I could bore you with specifics, but I'm not going to do that. It's just really starting to not become as fun as it was originally, just because of how many entries I'm getting now. Again, I do want to show your guys' cars, don't get me wrong, that's still going to happen in some format, but in terms of having one show each month like this is now going to end. I haven't 100% thought about how I'm gonna do it, but if you do want to find out the future of community showcases and, you know, design showcases, follow my Twitter. That's probably where I'm gonna announce something very soon in the future. But as for now, that is the end for community showcase. So thank you very much for everyone who sent their cars in, everyone who's gone to the effort to, you know, send a car in and all that kind of stuff. It really does mean a lot. Like, I'm really overwhelmed by the support you guys are giving me, and I'm still very appreciative of that to this day. It really does mean a lot. Thank you very much for the support, and here is to the future. So for the last time in community showcase, this has been your boy StraightUpHippo. You guys have been awesome. Stay safe and peace.